Hello everyone, this is Aqualodia and welcome to this little audiobook. If you don't know this already, I made a series of 3 one-shots for Xiaobedo week, and this is part 4, which honestly, it doesn't fit any prompt from Xiaobedo week, but it's a continuation of a story. So I would suggest, before you listen to this audiobook, you either read or listen to the others. I would be very grateful for that, and yeah, if you want to take a look at the playlist for Xiaobedo week or just these one-shots that I made in general, the links for that are all in the description. And now that I've told you about this, we can finally get started. You got everything?
Yep.
Proudly, Klee showed her rucksack to the alchemist.
A map, 3 apples, a few chicken mushroom squirrels from Sarah. Oh, and Dodoku.
Albedo smiled softly at the younger girl. Then let's go. Today was a big day for the Spark Knight. Today, she would enter a domain for the very first time. Not only that, but also her big brother would be by her side. So even if things got dangerous, Klee knew that she had nothing to fear. The domain had recently been discovered and no one had taken a step inside yet. No one knew what secrets waited beyond this heavy stone door. No wonder there was disappointment on Klee's face when they reached the entrance and Albedo claimed that the little exposition had to stop before it even started.
But why? I was so excited.
She mumbled softly, already tearing up while sitting down on the stone steps. Albedo kneeled down next to her. I know, but the report was wrong, sadly. Look at this. The alchemist pointed to a few symbols carved into a stone next to the door. This is a warning. It says that you shouldn't enter if you don't have a pyrovision by your side. But whoever found this domain didn't notice that the text continues. He pushed some tall grass to the side. They also suggest taking the power of Anemo with you.
You mean one like Jean's? Or Sucrose?
Albedo nodded. Exactly. I guess we have to go back and ask one of them to join us. But now that I think of it, Sucrose told me she would go to Wolvendom today.
And Jean is always busy. Like, always.
Klee sighed frustrated, puffing her cheeks.
And you know no one else who could join us?
Albedo thought for a moment. He had no idea where the traveler was at the moment, and that green bard he sometimes saw in Oneshot, he didn't even know his name, but he had an aura the alchemist didn't like. But there was also someone else, someone not from Oneshot. Well, maybe I know someone. Hope glittered in Klee's eyes.
Who?
Someone from Liyue, but he is as fast as the wind, so maybe if he has the time... Albedo wasn't really sure if he should really call upon Xiao for this, but in the end, Klee's big eyes convinced him to try it. Xiao? I'm not in danger, but if you have a time, what is it? Albedo hadn't even ended when the answer came. Behind them, on the gate, sat the Yaksha, a bored expression on his face.
Hello, are you big brother's friend?
Klee called in excitement. Xiao slowly crooked an eyebrow, looking at Albedo before responding with a slow and unsure, yes? Klee cheered and jumped up.
Yay, then we can go now.
Xiao looked at Albedo, a bit of confusion on his face. We needed an Anemo user to join us in this domain. The alchemist gave another smile. If Xiao suddenly said no, he didn't want to know how Klee would react. Xiao blinked before jumping down. I already did my patrol and everything is quite peaceful in Liyue today. I guess I can help you two out, but if someone calls me, I'm gone. Klee cheered again, excitedly running to the stone door. Albedo smiled and mouthed a quick thank you to Xiao before he followed Klee. Well then, let's go. The domain was quite dark. Only a few stones on the walls glowing in a soft blue hue. Klee eyed everything excitedly, but kept close to her brother.
I'm so nervous. What will we find here, big brother?
Albedo smiled softly, shrugging. As I said, we are the first ones here. No idea what will wait for us. Xiao walked behind the two. Nothing indicated danger so far, but he didn't trust the calm. A spear manifested in his hand, ready to defend the others and himself if necessary. They reached a big room with a few hilly trolls resting in the middle. One of them noticed them, screaming the others awake. But of course, they have been no match for the three adventurers. Albedo summoned his platform, letting Klee fly up and attack from there with her bombs, while he and Xiao took care of the ones that avoided the fiery explosions. Once they were done, a mechanic activated, revealing a treasure chest and a path behind it.
Oh, the chest is so shiny!
Klee yelled, eyeing it excitedly. The alchemist chuckled, pushing the girl in the direction of the chest. Go on, open it. Jiggling, the girl started running across the room. That's when Albedo noticed Xiao's grim expression. Something wrong? I don't know, but the Adeptus exchanged a worried look with Albedo. Wasn't that too easy for such a rare chest? Suddenly, a rumble was heard, followed by a scream. Klee avoided falling stones that suddenly started raining from above. Xiao didn't think twice and dashed to the girl. Albedo followed close behind, but fell to the ground when a fist-sized stone hit him on the head. Once he regained consciousness again, the stone fall had stopped, but the path was also blocked. Klee! Xiao! Big brother! We are fine, alchemist, Albedo sighed, glad to hear that they were both unharmed. Do you guys see any way to get through the stones? I don't think that's possible, Xiao responded. Listen, Albedo, can you go outside and wait for us there? We should be able to finish the domain by ourselves and leave that way. The alchemist sighed, a bit conflicted. It seemed like a logical idea, but at the same time he didn't want to leave his sister alone. In the end, logic won. Fine. Please take good care of her. Of course. With this confirmation, Albedo turned around and looked for the exit. Xiao lowered his gaze to the small pyro user beside him. He couldn't really deal with humans, but children, that was even harder. Klee had once answered Albedo, but after that she had started sniffling and quietly crying. Xiao kneeled down to her level, trying to catch a look at her face. Hey, we have to go now if you want to get out. You don't have to be scared, I will protect you. Klee raised her gaze, puffing her cheeks while still crying.
I'm not scared!
Xiao's expression made it clear that he didn't believe her, but he didn't say anything regarding this. If you say so. Why are you crying then? Klee didn't respond for a moment, but then she pointed to a red spot on her left knee.
I fell before you grabbed me. It hurts a lot.
Xiao looked at the spot unimpressed. Humans, so fragile. He thought about what to do now, tried to remember any human interaction he had seen to comfort something like that. He blew carefully on the spot before pressing a soft kiss to the knee. Done. Can we go now? Klee looked unimpressed.
That doesn't work. Big brother told me so.
Arkans, what the hell, Albedo? The Yaksha tilted the head to the side. For humans, maybe. But I'm not a human, and my kisses always helped. The little knight was in thought for a moment before smiling brightly.
You're right, it already feels better.
She stood up and started going, but after a short while she started jumping on her uninjured leg forward. Xiao sighed, grabbing the girl without a warning from behind, which earned him a squeak. Quiet, I'm going to carry you now. At this, Klee jiggled.
Can you give me a piggyback ride?
Xiao sighed, but lifted the girl to his shoulders with ease. Listen, fighting like this will be much harder. If we get in trouble, I'm going to let you down and finish whatever attacks us. Understand?
I can fight for you, look! Pow!
The little knight had brought her catalyst out and threw a bomb a good 10 meters before them, accidentally activating one of the pyro mechanisms in their way. Xiao raised his gaze to the child, who looked down at him jiggling. Fine, but if you take too long, I will take care of any enemies.
Sounds fine to me.
Klee threw a few bombs across the room, hitting the other mechanisms and opened the next door in front of them.
Go, horsey, go!
Call me a horse one more time and I will kick you like one. The Spark Knight just giggled while Xiao carried her deeper into the domain. About 2 hours later, the domain's gate opened, making Albedo jump up from the stairs.
Big brother!
Klee jumped outside, throwing herself in the alchemist's arms. Xiao followed slower, smiling just so slightly. Thank the Archons, you two are okay. The blonde hugged his little sister tightly, bowing down to do so. That's when Xiao noticed a reddish spot on the other's hair. What about you? Albedo raised his head with slight confusion. What should be with me? Before Xiao could answer, Klee suddenly gasped, pulling the other's head down again.
Your head bleeds!
More like bled. The Adeptus moved closer, kneeling next to the siblings. Carefully he moved Albedo's hair out of the way and showed the girl the small red spot. See, it's already dry. Albedo chuckled a bit, keeping his head down. Oh, that. I was hit by a stone when we got separated. It's nothing to worry about. Klee looked unconvinced.
Xiao, can't you make it better? You know, like you did for me?
The dark-haired man looked a bit surprised, while the blonde raised his head a bit. What are you guys talking about? Klee, have you been hurt? She only fell on her knee. Calm down. Xiao pushed Albedo's head down again, before he did what Klee asked him to do. First, a soft blow across the wound, then a careful kiss next to the wound. Albedo jumped slightly when he realized what just happened, but Xiao kept calm and raised the other's head. All better now, right? Of course nothing had changed, but Xiao gave Albedo a look that hopefully made him understand that he should better play along. Albedo nodded slowly, grabbing Xiao's hands and pulling them away from the set. Yeah, much better, thanks Xiao.
Yay!
Again, Klee giggled and leaned against her big brother. Xiao smiled softly while rising to his feet, stretching one hand out to Albedo to pull him up as well. Now that this is taken care of, what now?
Oh, can we go to Starfall Lake?
Klee suddenly yelled.
It's close to noon. We could rest there and eat something?
Albedo was about to explain that Xiao should leave now, but the Adeptus was faster. Sure, it's been a while since I've been there.
Then let's go.
Klee turned around and ran out of the woods, the two men following behind her. Starfall Lake was as beautiful as Xiao had remembered. A lot of flowers, green glowing grass in the sunlight, clear water that you could drink. The Yaksha leaned back against a tree, breathing in deeply to inhale the sweet smell surrounding them. Next to him, Albedo sat in the grass, while in front of them, Klee had laid down, smiling brightly while she slept. Of course, she had prepared 3 meals, no matter how often Xiao had told her that he doesn't eat. In the end, she forced 1 apple down his throat, and to not let the other food come to waste, ate that as well. Well fed and tired from the adventure, she had laid down and fell asleep. Albedo watched her, smiling to himself before he raised his gaze to the island in the middle of the lake. So, not your first time in Mondstadt? What about the other regions? Xiao sighed softly, opening his eyes. I've been everywhere Morax has been. Also, my power takes the form of an animal vision. So I met Barbados as well. Really? Albedo looked surprised, looking to the statue of the 7 in the middle of the lake. Does he really look like that? Sometimes, Xiao answered, remembering the god in green. Like Morax, he can change his form anytime he wants. Maybe by now he looks different, but last time I saw him 600 years ago, he looked very similar to this. The alchemist looked surprised by that answer, thinking for a moment before looking at Xiao again. What was 600 years ago? Why did you two meet? Xiao shrugged. It was a date, I think. A date? You dated Lord Barbados? Shush, do you want to wake up, Klee? Albedo put his hands in front of his mouth, looking down to his little sister, but she was still passed out. But how? Why? Sorry, I... Xiao chuckled softly. It's okay. It's not every day that you hear these stories about an Archon. The Adeptus leaned back, thinking a bit more. As for the how and why, we knew each other for a while and got a bit closer after one incident. Things soon got more and more personal, but at some point we both realized that it just didn't work. What do you mean exactly? If you don't mind me asking, of course, Albedo asked carefully. Well, Xiao sighed. I don't have a lot of free time to offer, so we could only see each other a few times each week. And when we did, Barbados already had an idea on what to do. He's a man of many talents and full of energy and creativity. So for things to work, I had to spend all my free time with him and do something. I have gone a few weeks without any break. When Barbados found out, he got mad at me for not telling him what I sacrificed for our time, and after a short fight and no better solution in sight, we broke up. Sorry about that, the alchemist mumbled awkwardly, only to receive a low chuckle. Albedo, that was decades ago. Don't be sorry, I'm over him. If you say so, Albedo sighed softly, closing his eyes and enjoying the breeze. I guess I just thought things are not fine by now, since most people I met can't get over a breakup that easily, if ever. Xiao looked over to the blonde. Didn't you have a breakup before? Or are you not interested in any romantic relationship? The alchemist opened his eyes again, scratching his neck outwardly. It is complicated. I fell in love with people before, I think, but I had a hard time keeping interest in them, so I have never gone through with a relationship like this before. I don't want to hurt anyone just because I grew bored of them at one point. Understandable. I guess that's also why you reacted that way when I kissed your wound like that. Albedo jumped, surprised, looking at the yaksha. What do you mean? Did he notice that Albedo felt more for him than just friendship? The adeptus kept calm. You're not used to kisses, right? The alchemist blushed and looked down. Right. I mean, I never got kissed by someone who's not my family, so... The blonde jumped again when Xiao moved suddenly closer. If you want, I can be your first. That couldn't be true. Nope. Never. Xiao would never suggest something like that. He'd shot into Albedo's head, his gaze looking for anything that would indicate a joke on Xiao's side. I don't know what to say, The alchemist felt like his head would shut down any second. Finally, he stuttered a "why?" out. Now, Xiao looked a bit conflicted, not necessarily because of what he just suggested, but more why he did it. So it's out of the way, if that makes sense. Also, I have met some humans in my life that lost their first kiss in less than ideal situations. Sometimes not in a way they wanted to do it, or to a person they never wanted to share this experience with. Xiao avoided the other's gaze for a moment. I don't wish to scare you. I think you are more than capable to get out of a situation like this, but fine, let's do it. Xiao stopped talking, looking at the alchemist, who in turn looked much more determined now, but nonetheless a bit red in the face. Really? Really. I get your argument. Also, you're a person I trust who also happens to have experience. Xiao smiled slightly, feeling a bit proud when hearing these words. Okay, if you say so. He moved in front of Albedo, their faces only a few inches away. Anything I should. Both men started at the same time, before stopping. A nervous laugh escaped Albedo, while Xiao shook his head with a soft chuckle. Okay, you try. Anything you're uncomfortable with. The adeptus tried again. Albedo thought for a moment. No, at least I can't think of anything right now. Anything I should do? Just remain calm. I guess that's the only thing. Both men nodded in mutual understanding before Xiao leaned forward. Albedo pressed his eyes closed, feeling the nervousness rising up again. With his side taken, he was even more surprised when he heard a low chuckle and felt the pressure of two hands on his shoulders. There's nothing to worry about, Albedo. Calm down. Then Albedo felt soft skin. No, lips brushing his cheek. He let out the air he didn't know he had been holding, relaxing a bit. Then a slight pressure was placed on his lips. Nothing more. He felt a bit of warmth inside him, but besides that, it didn't feel that special at first. But still, when Xiao started leaning away after a few seconds, Albedo moved with him to keep the contact. Again, he could hear one of Xiao's red chuckles before the Yaksha pressed his lips back at Albedo. One of the gloved hands traveled to Albedo's nape and rested there for a while, before Xiao removed his lips again, this time successfully. Both men looked at each other, sharing a smile before hugging close. "Thank you," Albedo mumbled softly, pressing his face in one of Xiao's shoulders. The other man pressed another soft kiss to Albedo's temple, smiling to himself. Everything for a dear friend. Words that made Albedo want to sing and cry at the same time.